Hi there guys, this is Farmer Bob. Welcome back to my channel, man. Great, man. This is episode 6 of the Durango FS22 of FS19 to 22 map conversion series. If you are joining now for the first time, do have a look at the first 5 videos because it's brought us to where we are now. This is the FS22 version that we've converted so far. So step by step by step, I've tackled it in this series. I've tackled it thoroughly. Every little problem and every little thing we've discussed and showed how to solve it and how to work through the problems. And we've worked, I think it's been pretty good so far. So yes, guys, so welcome. If this is your first time around, a warm welcome to you. Do pause the video right here and just press subscribe. It does really help my channel grow. I really appreciate that. And also a huge thank you to my supporters, especially the Patreon supporters. I really appreciate you guys. Great, man, guys. Thanks so much. Let's get stuck in. So we are slowly but surely working our way through Durango, through the scene graph, and just importing or exporting and importing and fixing problems as we go along, you know. So what I've got here on top is the one in my mods folder is the actual map that we're busy working on. Then I've got a conversion attempt by Giants Editor, which I actually export from. And I've explained in previous videos how helpful this is in some ways. Although this map is unusable, you can't use it because nothing works on it, you know. So it's a pointless exercise, except for it does help a lot with some errors and issues, you know. And then this is the FS19 original. So sometimes I use this one if I need something, but mostly I export from here. So we're going to open this up in editor 904, and we're going to carry on where we left off the previous episode. So yeah, get yourself something nice to drink, sit back and relax with me. If you're into map making, this will definitely be a bonus for you. I hope so. I really hope so. Anyways, so the last thing we exported was the roads, and now we're getting to the nice stuff, the rails. This I think is going to be the whole railroad. Yeah, bear in mind the railroad is actually called via XML and i3D into the map, so it's not really in the map. What you see here is only the physical stuff, the hardware, as if I can say it like that. The software is loaded in the map, you know, when you load it in game. But we're going to work through the whole process. I think this map has 3 trains, if I'm correct, but we will have a look at it, and we're going to do a full conversion of that. Obviously install the FS22 versions of it, which is going to be fun. It's the least I can say. Right, so first of all, let's have a look at this rail. So we're going to go file and export this. Oh, what I wanted to do first, it's just rail, so I can type that. It's not that bad. Export with files. Then we're going to go back to our map, which is the Durango one in mods folder, into our imports folder, and then just call this export rails. And I do put it in the same folder, all of the exports, so that if there is stuff that can be overwritten, like textures and files and shaders and whatever, so I don't end up having 10 of each in the same map, you know. So yeah, so I'm going to export the i3D as rails. So we're going to go save and yes to both, because it is the FS22 version. Alright, so or the one that Giants tried to export. Good. And I'm going to close the map here, because obviously just to save some resources on the PC, make the video work a bit faster and everything. Good. So now, as always, we're going to go into the imports and open rails and see what we have got to work with. So we open the one that we've just exported. Great. And there it is. So let's look for errors first. Check our console. I'm happy to see and happy to report that there's no real errors here. What I normally do is just go into an actual something and see if there's no flickering and sparks flying and all kinds of weird stuff going, you know. but from a quick look, everything looks kosher so far. So it has exported it nicely, and I don't see any problems directly. I suppose if we don't see anything here, we can before we save, just lastly just check the console once again for errors, save it up and close. I'm actually surprised. It's amazing that there's not much errors. Alright, open up. So now we open the map and just import. So that was quite easy, but normally when you import, it's where the fun starts, you know. Almost there, almost there. There you go. Alright, once again, our map is error free except for that building shader, which we tried to fix and we couldn't sort it out, which we decided just to leave because the building looks fine. There's no flickering, there's no problems, so it's an error that we can live with. It's not a game issue. It's not a game breaking error. So we can live with that for now. Unless we just delete that little, it's a tiny little thing that sits in the river, a little power generator that sits in the river. If it does bother anyone, we can definitely delete it. It's not an issue. Anyway, here we go. Import Rails. Now we hope for the best. Hope for the best. Hope for the best. There you go. Hope for the best, hope for the best. And window console, this is where the tire meets the track, something like that. It imported the rails and I don't see any problems. And like I said many times, do scroll around a bit, fly over your import, because if there is stuff that will happen or will break, it will break when you fly over it, or sometimes after a minute or two. Once you've imported, you suddenly get some weird errors, you know. So it's happened many times before, so I know about that. Alright, good. So it looks kosher, and that was the smoothest import I've seen so far. We had problems with imports all the time, small little things that we had to fix, but this one was pretty nice. How's that? Beautiful. And like I said earlier on, this has got nothing to do with the train, it's just a track. So the train actually loads via XML and R3D. So, save the map. And at this time, I'm going to make a backup quick. Right, so if we're done with that first one, or the first one for this video rather, let's tackle the next one. So that was the railroads or the rail track, all done, and the bridges. Oh, I love it. Slowly but surely we're getting there, guys. So rails, nature. This is now obviously all the trees and stuff. Now, this map, I can't remember now. I think it does use FS19 trees. Oh, that's another problem. This glowing stuff on the field edges. It's only on the field edges, this weird glowing on the field edges, also a problem, and it's only in the editor that it does that. So yeah, it is something with the fields. I'm not too sure what it is, or the field ground or something in FS22 that makes it go crazy. But anyway, what I wanted to say is the foliage or the trees on this is all FS19 stuff. It doesn't look too custom. I think that's the one custom thing, but yeah, let's just export and see what we have to work with. So go file, export with file, same drill again, and we're gonna go to imports and call this nature. Just keep the name structure the same so that yeah, we can sort of work around that. So save, and yes. And from nature, normally, I can't recall that we had much problems. There might be tree trunk and tree branch and tree leaf or whatever shaders that normally pops up, you know. So we'll see just now when we open it up with whether there's going to be any funny business. Let's hope not, but sometimes there is. So I normally expect those with the trees when you export from FS22 FS19, you know. Oh, we're down below. Just want to zoom out like that, come up. It's the one thing if you've got all the trees selected, so you can zoom out much faster if you deselect all the trees. But they all look good. I don't see any problem with them. There's no shaders that sort of were making funny business. So let's just have a look at our console. Normally there isn't problems with the trees, but sometimes you do get it. Especially if the guys you customize the trees and change shaders and all kinds of funny things, then you have problems, you know. So yeah, in this case, nature came through very nice. I love it, guys. I really love it. So let's go in and import it and see. Oh, I wanted to make it a quick backup of the map, so let's just cancel that. So what I do is I just copy my map directory, Control C, and then I go into my backup drive. I've got a backup folder for FS22, and then you'll see Durango, there's two of them. So Durango 1 is my oldest backup, then Durango is there. So what I do now is I delete the oldest one, I rename the previous one to 1, and then I just paste the new one in here. So then this new one becomes the newest and that one becomes my oldest. So I've got actually two backups that I always have. So if something goes wrong, then I've got two steps that I can go back in case something backs up, you know, or I mess up so bad that I have to. I constantly do this. I would say I've actually neglected this backup for I've been recording for about 4 hours today, so I think about 3 videos that I've recorded, yeah, so it's something very important, guys. Do not neglect your backups. I would say it's maybe a good idea after every second export, maybe make a backup, you know. And to come to think of it, it is about maybe every third export that I've done on this video, but make the interval a bit shorter. Good. Right, so we can close that up. In here, back into our original, or not the original, but the export. So, or the converted, not the export. Nice. So that was nature. Oh, sorry, man. We need to import nature. I forgot now. Oh, word. I got all distracted, guys. You should have warned me. And you didn't. Good. All right, let's go. Let's import nature and see. Normally, trees. Oh, my word. Trees changes a map completely. Completely. Right, so we're almost there. Trees. Yo, this one is loading like crazy. Why is it taking so long to load? It's mods, Durango, it's the right i3D. There we go, that looks better. Just for peace of mind, always check your console for errors. And if there's no errors, you can smile happily and know everything is good. Alright, so now import trees, nature. Nice, I like. Ooh, I like. You're gonna see how it's gonna change the map now. Very nice. This map doesn't have a lot of trees because it's like a desert, you know. So yeah, obviously there won't be that many trees. But here in the side where the sea is and the ocean is, where it's greener, because you've got the two worlds on this map. The ocean side where it's nice, and then you've got the deserty side here on the other side of the Rocky Mountains, I think. It's something like that. I'm not too sure. I'm just fooling around, guys. So yeah, but yeah, beautiful. Let's just check if there's any errors. After the import, normally here's your import nature, so there's nothing going on. Great stuff, I love it. Save it up. Good. So now we know this one is perfect. The almost our thingamabob. Then the next thing we need to do is obviously look at our fields. Now before we can do the fields, we need to do some info layers. So I think we'll tackle the info layers on a separate video, because the info layers are very important. The DEM files, the GDM files, sorry, not the DEM, the GDM files, density maps, as well as the info layers. Alright, so that was nature. Then we have fields and gameplay. Fields, gameplay, and placeholders. Oh my word, placeholders. Now the placeholders are the stuff that are loaded via XML. This is where it's going to become interesting, because take for instance, if you take most of the stuff is going to be like triggers. So if you take BGA South for instance, press F, you see that's BGA South. It's just triggers, and these things are all loaded via XML. Selling station, generic dairy, press F. So this is a normal selling station. So these things we're not going to handle now, because we're going to work them through on the and this is stuff that I won't export. I will import and create new ones, except for obviously things like the farm mansion. This is something that you will not be able to import, so we will have to export that. Farm silos, no problem, we're going to put in new ones. Farm vehicle shed. Just to yeah, I'm just thinking what to do with these things. If yeah, you see this is all triggers, most of it's triggers. Gas station upper, that's a trigger. Gas station, selling station port, that's a trigger. Horse ranch, trigger. So all these things we're going to work through the XML, so let's not bother with them now. So what I want to do, fields. So the next one was fields. Yeah, let's do the fields. I'm going to show you how to do the fields as well. So file, export, selection with files, and then we go call this fields. Very nice, and save. Boop. Yes and yes. All right. So on the field side, what happens with the fields, we're going to have a look now, because that was the converted Durango. I want to have a look now if they have added the field attributes. They should have brought over the field attributes as they were in Durango. So let's have a look. But you never know with these things, guys. Oh, you know what? I forgot we have to import. Open the import first. So I'm going to let that map open by itself, and then let's open the field separately on another R3D. So or another window, or another window. Wonderful. So that's our fields there. So what I want to look at is the attributes. The fields transform should have attributes. Not that attributes, not material editing, but user attributes. Where's the user attributes? Here it is. Okay, so it's got it. A field util on create. So that's our field transform. And then on here we should have a few attributes. There's field dimension, name index is 0. In there, field map indicator. So that's the only attributes we have for field 0. Normally, if you would like grass missions and that things, you'll add those too. But that's map dependent. So in other words, if the guy, here we go. You see field name indicates field angle. He's add the angle in there. I'm just opening on random here, guys. All right, so let's leave it as is. There shouldn't on this. Almost impossible to have errors on it. So just going to close up and save and close, and then we can directly import. I normally don't have problems importing fields. It's a straightforward out and in, you know, fields. And what I normally do, the working things of my map, I normally chuck that in the gameplay. So you'll see that there's already a fields here in the gameplay, and there you can now have a look at the attribute windows for that. Like that. So these are field util and create, and obviously field angle, field dimensions, all that in there. Alright, so what we can do is just chuck that one, doop, like so, and take our field here and put it in our gameplay folder, like there. Alright, and that is how simple and easy the fields are. And then we save our map. But now, before we can use the fields, our map needs the farmlands, because your farmlands actually farms, and you cannot have a field spanning over two farmlands. In other words, you can have you can have a farm or a farmland with 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 fields inside it, but you can't have one field splitting over 2 farmlands. That is going to cause you errors. So that is very important. And currently this map, the farmland on this map is already set up, or used to be set up for I think it was the US map that I used to make this base map, or the start map from. So if you go into what am I looking for now? I want to put up the terrain editing so I can look at the farmland. So I'm going to quickly show you the farmland. So there's the info layers. So you see this farmland here. Oh my word, I mustn't click my mouse here now. Luckily I've got nothing selected. I just want to see, is there anything in the console now that I've toggled the farmland? It doesn't look like it. Imported the field, so there's no problems. So I just want to go back to farmlands. We should actually, the moment you have farmland on here and you select the info layer paint mode, there you go. So farmland 1 is the whole map is set to farmland 1. So that is fine. It won't cause errors because the whole map will have one farm then, and all the fields will be on this one farm, which is perfect. So that's if I recall how I set it up, I made the whole map one farmland. So in order to fix that, we have to obviously now save our map because our fields are in, and I want to now add the farmlands to it just to test and see that our But are we now finished exporting? I think we are finished exporting. I don't think there's anything else to export. And close that up. Now, so on Durango FS19, if we go in there, we find our farmland, transport, preview farmlands. Here we go. Open that up. This is our farmland for Durango. All nice and neat. There is 62 farms on it. And obviously, if we go into the Durango FS22, if we look at our farmland here under XML, I think, yes, there's only one farmland. Alright. So it is actually a matter of having a look at NPC underscore US 04, NPC underscore US 08. Now I know FS FS19 had 20 NPCs, where FS22 only has 15. So you can't unfortunately not just copy them over. So I'm going to lose all this nice description, but I suppose it's fine. I just need to make a list of the stuff that is important, which and obviously your different price scales. So I wonder. Let us copy this whole thing just from there. Shift up to there. 62 farmlands. Control. Bring it in here. I can't do that now. I must copy that. That's fine. Control C. Bring it in here. And I'm going to overwrite from there up to here, like so. Control V, paste it in there, and now I can just have a quick browse. So from farm ID 1, wonder why it jumped over, but anyway, doesn't really matter. Because of that there. Alright, so NPC name, I just want to make sure everything is the same as between the XMLs, you know, because you don't want to have even just the slightest spelling mistake or whatever. Alright, so what we can do then is go from the default farm property, which is 16. Sorry, not 16. It is ID 1. Farmland 1 is default farm property. So that's perfectly fine. So what we can do then is change this to 14. And everything that's higher than 15, there's two 18s. I'll make this a 10. And that one a 11. 15 can go, that's alright. And then we're gonna go here to let's make this a 7. 7. Make that a 5. I'm just randomly doing NPCs here, guys. So all you want to do is change the NPCs so that they are, maybe I've done a 9. 17 is 2. It's 02, sorry, not 2, 02. Oh, and I've made a mistake because somewhere I have made a mistake there. Must be 0, and that's 0. So that must be 0, 0, and that's a 03. Very important, guys. Okay, so there's another 18 there. Oh, there's another 18 and 18 there. We're almost there. Let's make it a 8. That one can also be a 8, like so. And let's call this a 14. So just scroll through them and check that you don't have duplicates, or not duplicates, but I mean nothing above 15. And then we can delete that first 2 IDs, like so. Bloop, bloop, bloop. Like so. And then data info layer farmland GRE. I don't know what was the pricing on this one. They didn't give pricing on this one. Okay, very interesting. Alright, so we'll leave it like that. So our farmland is done. And see what I've done? I've just incorporated the old farmland into the actual one that's already named and registered in the map XML, so that I don't have to go and fiddle around and change directories and all that kind of stuff. and also the info layer for the farmland is already pointing to the correct info layer. So all I have to do now is take the old info layer, convert it into FS22 format and bring it over, you know. So that's basically what we need to do now. So we finished with the farmland XML. We're totally happy. We only got 62. We know that there's 63 farmlands by default. So if you have more than 63 farmlands on your map, you have to come and change you must up the limit here to 8 channels in both the I3D of the map as well as here at num channels. So you'll go to farmlands in the map and add your farmlands there above 63, and then also change the channels to 8 both places in here and the farmland in the I3D of the map. Okay, good. Right, so that is saved and done. So data info layer farmland.jl is the next thing we want to do, is have a quick look at if Giants has converted our farmland.grle info layer into mask. It must be called, where is it? With density terrain. Why don't I see it? Tip call, place, info, terrain detail, height, tip call, width density. Oh my golly gosh, guys, am I blind? Let me just see where it is. So it's mapdu dot underscore farmland. So that's the actual name for it, mapdu underscore farmland. So mapdu and then mapdu, there it is. Yeah, my word. It's crazy how blind you can be, eh? Great, so now we've got it. Now we need to just find our GRLE converter. So we will take the GRLE converter and just drop that on the converter there, on the convert command, guys. Do not drop it there. Drop it there on the convert command, alright, and then wait for it to convert it for you. Saving, doop, and now you should have a PNG file of it. There it is, mapdu farmland. Alright, so cut that out, drop it into our map, in there in the data folder, Control V. Alright, there it is. Now we're going to find the one that says info layer farmland. We're going to copy the name of it like so, put a 1 in front of it, alright, so we have a backup of it, and then come to this PNG and just rename it like there, you see. Alright, okay, and then what I want to do is just check the size. This is 2048 by 2048, and now we can take this one and just convert it over, just to have a check and see if the old one that we had was also 2048. You see, the old info layer farmland was 4096. So now we can't bring this in at 2048 because it's going to cause a problem. So what we need to do is take this info layer. So that one I can delete because we know now that it's 4096. So we open this in, because it's an info layer, I'm going to open it in GIMP. Alright, so if you don't have GIMP, grab it for free on the internet and install it. I'm using an older version. I can't remember if it's how old it is. So the tip or the important thing to do here, guys, is zoom in, hereby zoom in, and find a spot that where you can see a straight line like that, like so. Alright, so we know it's there by this white block, and what we're going to do now is we're going to go image, scale the image, and we're going to go 4096, was it? Just want to verify, make sure 100% it's 4096, yes. So we want to scale it to 4096. And the interesting thing is, because we've doubled this resolution as well to 144. All right, like so. And then interpolation, this is where the thing comes in. Have a look at this line now. We want to have a straight line. You don't want something that's plotted and whatever. All right, so we're going to say scale, and then just once it's now back, we're going to zoom out a bit and see if we can find that same spot. There it is, you see, and then zoom in there. Oh, not that fast. Where's it gone to now? I'm now somewhere off track here. What has happened now? Oh, some reason this zoom in, that is the spot that we want, is that little spot there. So zoom in, just one click. So I think if you click too fast, you see, this is what you don't want. If you have farm lines like this, guys, you're going to have a huge problem. You need to have a straight line. All right, so I'm going to go edit, Control Z, or just edit undo, Control Z. All right, so that we can just come back to our straight line. Zoom out a little bit. See if we are now zoomed out and working correctly. Yeah, it looks better. And zoom in again, just to see that we are still on the straight line. Yep, it does look like it is. Maybe I should just reopen it just to be sure. It's always good to focus on one spot so you can see what the difference and changes is, especially when you work with farmland, guys. Do not just convert it. You will definitely have problems. I can guarantee you that 100%. Right, yeah, it is perfect. It has got that little loop here. All right, so now, so image, scale image, and then 4096 and 144. Oh, not there, 144. Enter. All right, and then let's make the interpolation none, and let's scale it like that. And I think that normally does the trick, if I recall correctly. Yeah, perfect. You can see now we've got the straight line, and that's what we want. Farmland precise. There mustn't be this blurry thing between the farmlands, because then you're going to have big problems. Believe me, you'll have big problems. All right, and then file, we're going to export as, not save as, or save, export as. You're going to overwrite the existing one. You're going to say replace, and then here we're going to just leave automatic and export, and then just see. So we leave this open and just check this out, how it looks and how it works in game. All right, so let's open the map now and see if we can check our farmland and if everything is kosher with the farmland, if it doesn't have any errors. Wonderful. Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. So I think it will be all right. Normally it is. Oh, you know what? We didn't. I forgot. Just don't save if you have problems. But before we do anything, I just want to check the farmland. Farmland. Yep, it didn't. It definitely didn't accept the farmland. So I'm just going to close without saving. Very important. Right, like so. And now we need to go in here and change in the map i3D the farmland GRLE to PNG. Control F, farmland, like so. So we find that. So the GRLE, we double click there and we just make it PNG. Alright, like so. Save it up. And keep this open because we're going to come back to it. Alright, so there we are. That's mods Durango, that's right. And we are data, info layer, farmland. I just want to make a 100% sure. Where is my farmlands? Info layer farmland.png. Alright, so that's perfect. So it will pick up this one, not this one because this one I've renamed. Alright, just as a backup. If something goes wrong, we can always restore that, get it back. And that's why I say very important, do not save your map if there's problems. And do check whatever you're busy with working, do go and check that what you have worked on doesn't have errors, you know, so that's very important. Don't just randomly check your map, just go, you must know what you were busy working on to see. So now we're going to go Windows Console and just check if there's anything containing errors. That's our shader problem, that's the cut problem. I don't have any problems with farmland. So now if I now zoom out a little bit like that, I should be able to see farmland when I click this. There it is. Look at that. Beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. So there's all our farmlands. Alright. So what I'm going to do now, I just want to zoom in close here and make sure that our farmland is on the sort of on the borders, you know. So if we now click there, yeah, it looks good. You can see here and there's a spot like there. But I can guarantee you that's not from our conversion. It is from the map maker. Control R. I can quickly just fix it up. While I see it, I can fix it. You know, tiny little problems on. Look at that, where the farmland is just went over the rail. You know, so yeah, it is. There will be tiny things. It depends on the map maker, you know. Some oaks are very precise, other oaks doesn't really make. For me, I like to slop my stuff under the roads and stuff, you know. So hide it in there. Make the whole. What I normally do, guys, what I always suggest to guys, when you make a map from scratch, right? So what I normally suggest or advise to do is make your whole map farmland 1. So paint the whole map white with farmland 1 and then start making your farmlands from farmland 2. So that farmland 1 becomes the sort of stuff that's under your roads and whatever, you know. So then you fill in wherever you want farmland. So that makes farmland 1 the thing that you don't want to buy, you know, that type of thing, which is under the roads and in places and stuff that you don't need to buy farmland. Alright, but anyways, I'm digressing. So we can save the map and close up. So our farmland is working. So what's going to happen now? Now we have renamed the farmland to PNG. And now when we save now, the editor is going to recreate the GRLE file. And then we're going to delete the actual PNG that we've converted, because there's no need for it anymore. Now once finished, I'm just checking here at the bottom. Once it's finished, there we go. Then now if we go into the data folder, there should be a new GRLE there for farmland. I've just scrolled down too far. Where is it? Farmland, info layer farmland. There's the new one. See, and that's the old one. So this two now I can delete because I don't need them anymore. We've done with the farmland. It's all working and perfect. And very important, come back here, make sure to reload it and change the farmland.png back to GRLE. Now this is a step that most guys forget about, and then they get an error or the things doesn't work, but they forgot to come back and change it back to GRE or to GDM, whatever you're busy working with. If you're converting a density file, then you need to come back and rename it back to GDM, because otherwise the editor is going to look for the PNG and you've deleted the PNG, or it's going to stay on the PNG and you're going to have errors further on in the map, you know, that type of stuff. Anyway, so we save that up, and then now Lastly, reopen the map to make sure that our new changes now has taken, to make sure there's no errors and that you can see the farmland. So that's basically the process of recreating either an info layer or a density map. And it's always like that. You first rename, recreate, then open up, save if there's no errors, and then rename back and delete. So that's your process there. Farmlands, perfect, no sweat, all done and dusted. Like I always say. Good. And then just want to check, obviously, lastly, for errors, if there's no farmland errors. Doesn't look like it. All good. Good. So that is the farmland done. One thing at a time, guys, as I always say. Now we can save it up or close it up. Now the next thing, we've done the fields. The next thing to do now is obviously all the density files. But I think I'm going to tackle that in the next video, because otherwise the density files, it's a long process, and I don't want to add it to this video and then the video becomes too long, so yeah. But thank you so much, guys, for watching and joining. I hope it's been fun for you. For me, I love map making and doing this videos and helping you guys and explaining stuff. It's what I really enjoy to do. A big thank you to my supporters once again. If you do really enjoy my stuff, do jump on Patreon and consider supporting me. I really do appreciate that. And also thanks for the likes and all the comments, guys. I really love reading your comments. It's really nice. And don't forget about my Discord channel, my website, where you can download all my stuff for free. Just jump on there, enjoy yourself. All my stuff is copyright free, so you can do with whatever you want with all my maps, all my stuff on my website. Just do what you want with it. You don't need to worry about permissions and all that. And if it makes you feel better, write me an email. I'll tell you, go ahead. I'm not fussed about that stuff. My stuff is for everyone to use. I love the game. Love to share my things. I'm not the guy that keep my toys for myself. I share my toys. Okay, guys, bless you and have a wonderful day. I'll catch you on the next video. Cheers, eh?